All right, man, it's another day, which means I have more free picks for you. In our last video, we went 2-1. In the video before that, we went 2-0. So we're on a 4-1 run right now. I like that. Obviously, that's pretty good. We're making a ton of profit. And with the picks I have today, I have 4 free picks for you that I'm extremely confident in. So if you want to get all 4 picks, all I ask is hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and we can go ahead and jump straight into it. My VIP picks aren't completely over yet, so I can't give a recap. I'll do that in the next video. But in today's video, we can go ahead and jump straight into the first free pick, which is going to be that guy, Devin Booker, to go over 7.5 assists. As you can see, in his last 5 games, he's gone over this mark 4 out of 5, averaging 8.2 in these games. In his last 10, he's gone over an 80% rate. Last 20, 60%, and that right there makes me extremely confident in it. I know last 20 isn't the greatest, but really that was the last 10 before, because in the last 10 and the last 5, he has been absolutely crushing it, and that's really how I've been betting things recently. If they have been playing good ever since the All-Star break, it's something I lean into, because after the All-Star break, it was a little bit weird betting on players. They were playing a little bit different, so basing everything off what they've done since the All-Star break has really helped me out, and it's made me a ton more profit, and this is one of those picks that I like a ton. He's just been crushing this over a lot recently in his last 5 and his last 10. And what I want to show you real quick to give you even more confidence in it is Devin Booker is projected to play 38 minutes in this game. So if we put him within that minute range, let's go ahead and put him in there. Let's go 35 to 41. Put him in that range. He's going over on the season at a 51% rate, which isn't great. It's not really leaning either way. But when we look at last 5, he's gone over in 5 of 5 when he's played in that minute range, averaging 8.6. In his last 10, he's gone over 9 of 10, averaging 8.3. And then in his last 20, he's gone over at a 70% rate, averaging 7.8. So that makes it look a lot better. He's going to play around this many minutes in this game, and when he plays in this minute range, he goes over at a lot higher percentage, and that's really why I like this pick so much. You always got to add in the minutes, and when seeing what Devin Booker does when it comes to assists in those minutes, I like it a lot, especially since he's going to be playing the Nuggets, and the Nuggets against shooting guards allow the 26th most assists in the entire NBA, which is obviously really good if we're trying to bet the over here. The Nuggets, they just allow a lot of assists. I'm not exactly sure why, especially to the shooting guard position. 26 is absolutely insane. That's 5th worst in the entire NBA. So if we're looking to take an over here, it looks really good, especially at minus 105. I love this. To recap real quick, last 5, 100, last 10, 90. This is in that minute range of 35 to 41. I'm super confident in it, and that's going to be my first pick. So there we go. Now we can get into our second pick, which is going to be Scottie Barnes to go over 34.5 PRA. Not too long ago, I told you guys to take his over in PRA because Grady Dick was out, and he absolutely crushed it. And I'm here today, and we're going to be running that back. So in his last 5, he's only went over this 2 times out of 5. Last 10, 3 out of 10. Last 20, 7 out of 20. And yeah, that doesn't look really good. Doesn't look like he's going to go over. But because of this, it has his line a little bit too low for the filters I'm going to add. So the first thing I want to show you is over the season, he's only going over this mark at a 42% rate. But when you add into the equation that Grady Dick isn't going to be playing, let's go ahead and mark Grady Dick out. What you're going to see is that his hit rate goes up to 75%, and he is averaging 40 PRA in these games, which is obviously just absolutely ridiculous. He only went under twice, and this game was obviously a 50-point blowout, and this game was a pretty big blowout as well against the Wizards. So those 2 games aren't very good, and the way we can mark those out is he's projected to play 40 minutes in this game, and if we just put him in that 30 to 40 minute range, let's go ahead and let's see, 40 minute range, what you're going to see is he goes over to 83% rate, and if you just bump that minute up 1 or 2, you're going to see that he is going over at a 100% rate in 4 of 4 games, averaging 47 PRA, which is absolutely absurd. He's projected to play 40 minutes in this game, so I'm actually being a little conservative on the high end of this minute range, just putting it at 40. I could be putting it at 45 or whatever, but I'm putting it at 40. I'm being conservative, and he has still gone over this mark 4 out of 4 times, averaging 47, and this is just way too good of a line to take at 34.5. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't take this, especially at minus 115. It's just too good, especially with Grady out and considering the minutes he's projected. So go take this while you can, especially since he's playing the Jazz. And as you can see right here, when it comes to points, the Jazz are 3rd worst. When it comes to assists, they're the absolute worst. And then when it comes to rebounds, they're not too bad. But when all 3 of these things are combined, it puts them towards the bottom of the pack when it comes to PRA in total. And that's why I like this matchup so much. So go lock this in, 34 PRA, and that is going to be my second pick of the video. So there we go. There's 2 picks that I like a ton. Now let's move on to my third pick, and it's going to be Jaden McDaniels to go over rebounds at this line of 5.5. As you can see, in his last 5, he's gone over this mark 80% of the time, going over in 4 out of 5. Last 10, 9 out of 10. And then in his last 20, he's gone over this mark at an 85% rate, which is just absolutely ridiculous. He's been hitting this over way too consistently to not take it. And just like I said with Devin Booker, he's been crushing ever since the All-Star break. So this is another guy that I like because of that. And you can see the averages are just insane. He's averaging 8.1 in his last 10. He's averaging 7.7 in his last 20. And he's averaging 7.6 in his last 5. And his line is just at 5.5. This line is way too low, especially considering he's playing against the Heat, and the Heat allow the 22nd most rebounds in the NBA. And while, yeah, I know a lot of y'all are probably going to be worried that some people are coming back from injury, it really doesn't affect Jaden McDaniels too much. We can go ahead and add in Julius Randle here and see what Jaden McDaniels has done with him in the lineup since he's came back, and it really isn't that bad. So you add him back in, and in his last 5, he's gone over in 3 out of 5, and his last 10, he's gone over 7 out of 10, and in his last 20, he's still gone over at a 65% rate, and he's just averaging well over this mark still, so I don't see any reason why you wouldn't take this. I know it's not as good as it looked before, but it still looks pretty good, and we can make it look better by adding in his minute projection. So in this game, he is projected to play 31 minutes, so let's bump it up to 28, to 34, and what you see is his hit rate jumps up even more. He's went over in 4 out of 5 in his last 5, he's went over in 7 out of 10 out of his last 10. And in both of these 2 categories, he is averaging well over the mark. So I'm loving this pick, especially with the matchup against the Heat. So go lock it in while you can. I absolutely love it. I think this is going to cash along with the other 2. And now we can jump into my final pick. But real quick before we do that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It's completely free and it helps me out a ton. Now let's jump straight into it. It's going to be DeMar DeRozan to go over his rebound line as well at this line of 4.5. As you can see, in his last 5, he's gone over 60%, last 10, 50, last 20, 45, and yeah, that doesn't look really good. It looks bad. It doesn't look like he's going to hit. But there's a key injury in this game that changes everything, and that injury is number 1, Sabonis being out, and number 2, mainly being Malik Monk out, and you're going to see why. So in 2024, he's only gone over at a 39% rate, but when you take out that guy Malik Monk, I don't know exactly why this happens, but he just absolutely goes crazy on the boards. As you can see, without Malik Monk, he has gone over this line 6 out of 6 times, 100% of the time, which is absolutely ridiculous, and that's why I think this line is too low at 4.5. I think we have an edge here. I know for a fact he's going to be chasing after those boards, trying to get them, especially since he's playing the Spurs, and the Spurs, as you can see right here, are the worst team in the entire NBA at allowing rebounds to the small forward position, which is obviously what DeMar DeRozan is. So not only is it a good matchup, but he also has gone over this mark every single time without Malik Monk in, and you can go ahead and count out that guy Sabonis as well, and when both of those guys were out, he went over as well. So I'm loving this over right here. I think it's a pretty easy pick, and that's going to be my 4th pick. DeMar, Jaden McDaniels over 5.5 rebounds, Scottie Barnes over 34.5 PRA, and then Devin Booker over 7.5 assists. Hopefully we can catch them all out, go 4-0 and sweep. Obviously that'd be a really good day, but until next time, good luck to everyone, and let's all go print some money.